I was past ready for something to go down. Anything. I gritted my teeth as my phone chirped for the third time in the last 30 minutes. Not what I had in mind. I didn't even bother looking at the screen because I knew it was Trey Evans. A month ago, I'd selected the ringtone to single out his calls. Regret gripped me as I tried with all my might to focus on the task at hand. Surveillance work was my least favorite part of any investigation. The last thing I needed was for my sort of significant other to be working my last nerve. We'd argued before I left town this morning. My longtime friend and current love interest claimed he supported me, but it was becoming obvious to me that my choice of profession as a private investigator got under his skin. He was a minister with a very prominent standing in our community. My cases often brought eyebrow-raising, deep sighing, and extended lectures on how I endangered my life. I sighed deeply and lifted the glass of soda water to my lips. I really should have asked for coffee. The bar wasn't that far from the lobby. Tonight, the wind whipped off the ocean outside, sending an icy breeze every once in a while when the lobby doors slid open. I'd been sitting at the bar for about 40 minutes now, thinking for the 10th time that Trey may have been right. Maybe I shouldn't have made the trip. Tonight was looking like a failed mission. On top of that, I was losing a significant chunk of change from my checking account. The Grand Ocean Resort was one of the more luxurious hotels in Myrtle Beach. The resort offered special amenities like a full spa treatment. This all went south. At least I'd sat in a hot tub or had a massage, which I hadn't done in years. My tense muscles were begging for relief as I turned my attention to the lobby again. Last week, I had conversations with the bartender and the waitress currently on shift. Both told me what I needed to know about a regular patron who I was hoping to spot tonight. This week, there was a realtors conference going on, and I was hoping I'd catch a glimpse of a certain real estate broker earlier. I'd seen several groups of men dressed in business attire, even at this late hour, but they weren't who I was looking for. So, I continued to wait. My phone screen lit up with a different ringtone. This time, I answered it.
Do you think this little get-together is still happening?
Amir Wright's technical prowess had put my mind at ease, and I wouldn't have ever considered tonight's stakeout without his assistance, something that Trey didn't like either. Trey's attitude turned cool whenever I mentioned working with my much younger associate. In fact, I'm sure that's what sparked his insistence that I not be here at the beach. I turned away from a trio of young women who'd appeared at the bar. They were dressed for a night out on the town, all adorned with black dresses and stilettos. I spoke softly into the phone. I'm wondering the same. I haven't seen our main candidate yet. Amir countered.
Didn't both the bartender and the waitress mention first Fridays of the month? Maybe he decided on a new location.
The group of women's chatter was too much in my ears, so I walked away from the bar and headed towards the lobby. I hope not, but it's almost 10 o'clock. You think you can make it another hour?
Hey, I'm all in with you.
On our first case together, only a few months ago, Amir had been shot on Black Friday, of all days. While he was back in the swing of things, I knew sitting around in a hotel room with the surveillance equipment was probably not good for his body. Then again, the man owned a cybersecurity company. He was in his element, and I knew he wouldn't have it any other way. I scolded softly. You really shouldn't be doing this. Let's wrap this up so you can get some rest.
Plus, you know this old lady can't hang too long.
Amir chuckled.
Past your bedtime, huh?
Not really. I'm definitely disappointed, though. Look, I'll check in with you in a few. I'm going to take a stroll. Ending the call, I glanced around again. I did my homework and prepared for this night for weeks, even through the holidays. It didn't help that I was feeling slightly guilty about my argument with Trey. I really needed to return to my room and call him back. Never let the sun go down on your anger. That was something we both agreed to do. The hotel was buzzing with activity, people arriving bedraggled from traveling or heading out for the local nightlife. I looked up to see a woman dressed in a fuchsia pantsuit walking in my direction. Our eyes connected, and I immediately had the sense I'd seen her before. She was tall, thin like a supermodel, except this woman wasn't a young thing. Her bobbed hair was almost a white blonde. She'd loosened her orange scarf so that it hung down, exposing a scrawny neck. When she looked at me, recognition